Hello, I am Kristin. Welcome back to my podcast, the Kristin Carrera podcast. If you are new, please make sure to hit that subscribe button, like, follow along, and comment. If you have been following along, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Continue to follow, like, share, all that great stuff. So I would love to hear if you are in the United States and you celebrated Thanksgiving, how did your Thanksgiving go? Did you stick to a strict carnivore diet or did you stray away? So I'm going to just have a conversation with you today and talk about what I did on my Thanksgiving break. I have not seen you for a few days because I decided to take that time to be with my kids, enjoy the little mini vacation, staycation, because we didn't go anywhere, and what happened during this holiday break. So, first off, I want to say that I am so thankful for being able to come in here and talk to you and have this platform and this podcast to share my journey with you on having a healthier lifestyle and learning more about nutrition every single day, learning what works for my body and what doesn't, and just to be here and be honest with you and share my experience with you in hopes that you too can get some insight and heal yourself as well. So I just want to say that that is what I am thankful for this year. And I am thankful for carnivore. I'm thankful for carnivore because if I hadn't tried carnivore, I probably would still be suffering through depression. I probably would still be suffering through anxiety almost every single day. I probably would have inflammation every day, brain fog, fatigue, all these things that I had. And I cannot be more grateful for my husband pushing me to do carnivore and for him starting first, because that kind of gave me that little push to really look more into it and really say, I'm going all in. Because what is the worst thing that can happen if I do it? What is the worst thing? The worst thing is that it didn't work and I go back to eating the way I was eating and feeling the way I was feeling. And the best thing that could happen is exactly what happened. I no longer feel depressed. I have so much more energy. I don't have that fatigue in the middle of the day. I don't have that brain fog, right? So much to be thankful for. And I would love to hear what you are thankful for in the comments as well. Okay, Thanksgiving. I told myself that I was probably going to have 1 to 2 side dishes. And my husband served me. We had turkey and we had ham. And I said, I just want a little bit of the stuffing. All the other side dishes I really didn't care for. Even the mac and cheese that I used to love that I actually make for the family. I just want a little bit of my sister-in-law's stuffing. So I had that on the plate, forgot to take a picture. I wanted to take a picture for you guys, but I left my phone inside and I was not about to go walk back inside to take a picture. So just got to take my word for it. But I literally took the smallest little bite on my spoon, 3 bites of the stuffing, and just to have that taste with the turkey. It tasted delicious, but I really didn't want more than those 3 little bites, which was very, very surprising to me. I was so satisfied with just eating my turkey and my ham. I never would have thought that I would be as satisfied as I was and didn't really miss out on all the other stuff. Absolutely amazing, I must say, and really, really proud of myself. Even with the fact that I did have a little bit of the stuffing, I am still proud of myself because I could have had 2, 3, 4 side dishes. I mean, there were family members who had everything on their plate, right? That's just how I used to eat as well, a little bit of everything. And so I really do have to pat myself on the back on this one. And now, not so much pat on the back, but remember I talked to you about how it's not really a slip up. We know what we're doing. We know that it's a holiday and we're going to give ourselves a little grace. So I gave myself a little grace. My sister-in-law made her apple pie, which she only makes once a year. And so I decided that I rather have apple pie versus any other side dish. So I did have a little bit of her apple pie. It was absolutely delicious. I brought some home. My husband had a little bit of each dessert so that he could try. And I had a little bit more apple pie the next day because it was so delicious. I also had a taste of the pumpkin pie, which was really good, just one small taste, and 2 to 3 bites of the delicious brownie that one of the family members made. And I felt fine, guys. I felt fine. I didn't get any reaction that was at least noticeable. And so I am just grateful that I didn't have a strong reaction. But with that said, I'm also just, again, giving myself the grace to enjoy the holidays and what I chose to put into my body. It's once a year, so I'm not going to beat myself up. Remember, this is progress, not perfection. And so that was my Thanksgiving. The rest of the week that I was off, I still stuck to my carnivore diet. I had my normal, typical eggs and bacon for breakfast, sometimes ham and cheese with my eggs as well. What else? My coffee, which is usual. And I did make homemade whipped cream, which I absolutely love to make for the kids. It's so much healthier than buying the store bought. So easy to make. And I'm thinking about doing a reel over on my Instagram, A Girl's Kitchen. It is not carnivore because I do add some erythritol and vanilla, but it is really, really good. And it is still way healthier than the store-bought whipped cream. So I'm not going to beat myself up over having a healthier version. Yes, erythritol is plant-based. Yes, vanilla is not carnivore. I know all these things, guys. You don't need to come at me in the comments. I know that some of you hardcore carnivores might be freaking out right now. It's not even animal-based, but again, it's still a healthier version than the one that you're going to find in the store. And I'd rather make homemade desserts or homemade whipped cream, whatever it is, here at home for my kids than to buy the seed oil full of sugar and all the other crap that's in the ingredients in the stuff at the grocery store. So sometimes you got to do a little give and take and see what works best for your family. For me, that's where I'm at right now. And again, this is not an everyday thing. It's holidays are coming right now. We have Christmas coming, Hanukkah. So whatever it is that you celebrate, I'm sure that your family is going to have tons and tons of food, and you have to prepare yourself for another holiday. So now you have the decision to make. How did you feel after having Thanksgiving and maybe indulging in one or two things? Or maybe you went all out. Maybe you decided to just go all out for one day, and then were you able to jump back on track the next day? Okay, that is super, super important. And I'll tell you why. Because if you were not able to jump back in the next day, and maybe you had leftovers at home and you stuffed your face again with these leftovers that you are not supposed to really be indulging in anymore, or not supposed to, but you know, getting back to the way you were eating for your health, and because you know that it makes you feel good, and not pigging out on desserts the next day as well, were you able to get back on track? Now, that is the question, because if you were not, then maybe for Christmas time, you don't want to indulge in some of the things that you love, because you know that it's going to be really hard for you to get back on track. And remember how you feel. Like, did you feel shitty after having some of the dishes that you loved for Thanksgiving? If you didn't, that's also an indication like what you should do. Remember, you are your own person. I cannot tell you what to do. Dr. Anthony Shafee can't tell you what to do, right? Dr. Ken Berry can't tell you what to do. Only you can tell yourself what to do. How did you feel? Do you feel that it's okay to do this again for Christmas time and then jump back on track like the next day, right? And continue this coming new year. I know that I can do it. I definitely struggle a little bit with wanting a little bit more of those sweets. But I am learning that sometimes for me, if I feel okay with having a little bit of raw honey, which gives me that kind of sweetness, I'm okay with that. I don't have any reaction to it. And if you are animal based, a lot of animal based things that you can eat include raw honey. So you're good there if you're animal based. If you are carnivore, they do not have raw honey. But again, I am not full blown 100% hardcore carnivore. I am on the Kristin no diet, right? Remember we talked about that not long ago, because I am just finding my nutrition that fits me and my body and my lifestyle, which is what you should do as well. Now I want to dive in really quick on things that you can do for these upcoming holidays, because there are going to be maybe holiday parties at work, and then you have Christmas or Hanukkah or whatever it is that you're celebrating, and then you have New Year's, right? So let's talk about that. So my number one tip for this is keep it simple. Focus on easy, satisfying foods like steak, burgers, even maybe chicken, lamb. Oh my God, so good, the lamb chops that I get. Especially if you are traveling, try to stick to those meals. No need to complicate your meals. Stick to what's easy and what you enjoy. Lean into flexibility. Number two, lean into flexibility. This is so important because you will beat yourself up and feel that guilt if you don't lean into this flexibility. Again, it depends on you and how you are. If you cannot lean into this flexibility, then this tip is not for you. Again, you got to take what works for you and what doesn't. But if carnivore options are limited, prioritize meat whenever possible and allow for that wiggle room without guilt if you have to. Most places, if you are traveling, you can figure out meat, or you can maybe get an Airbnb, which is a lot easier than a hotel room, and you can go grocery shopping and buy your own food. So this will definitely help. If you're going to a friend's get together, a family's house, offer to bring the protein. One meal does not undo your progress, and stressing about it can backfire. So do not stress about it. Progress over perfection. Number three, make peace with good enough. I know that that's like counterintuitive to what everybody else says of strict carnivore, don't deviate. It'll ruin your progress. That's not carnivore, don't eat that, right? Like all these things that you'll hear from people. Sometimes we need to enclose ourselves, push out the noise, and remember what works for us. So for me, I make peace with good enough if it arises. So for example, eating a plain burger patty or deli meat might not be ideal, but it gets the job done. It's just better to stick to your goals than stress about the perfection. So burger patty is awesome. Deli meat, people will come at you. I'm telling you, if you're a strict carnivore, they're going to come at you with the deli meat. Some people will eat nitrate free. I try to buy nitrate free ham. That is not always the case here at home. I also really just love a good charcuterie board. And also at parties, that's kind of what I offer to bring as an appetizer because it is something that I can eat. I eat dairy, so I add that to my platter and it works for me. And I love it. I love it. It doesn't make me feel deprived with all the other stuff that I cannot eat. Number four, have a go-to recovery meal. So after a big holiday event, jump back into your routine with something comforting. Spend that little bit more and get yourself a ribeye or your favorite breakfast dish, bacon and eggs, whatever it is, or maybe just some burger patties with bacon, right? Okay, so enjoy that comforting food, get back into it. Find the one that you really, really love. A familiar, satisfying meal can help reset your mindset and your cravings. So if I know that I need to jump into it, maybe I'll get like those lamb chop shoulders that I really love, or ribeye or churrasco. Like those are some of my favorites. And so that'll make me feel like I'm not being deprived, but I'm actually getting something that I love, if that makes sense. Number five, know your non-negotiables. This is so important. I should actually move this one up because your non-negotiables are very, very important. Like write them down, put them in your notes, like slap them in front of your face so that you do not forget them. Decide ahead of time what's worth it and what's not. This is so important. If you already know that the apple pie is going to give you major anxiety or bloating or inflammation or fatigue, whatever, don't eat it. Do not eat it. Put that on like the I am not eating that. Okay. Staying away from seed oils. That to me is a non-negotiable. I will ask what is in the dessert. But being okay with if you're not huge on dairy, but you have a side of cheese, being okay with that. Like, those are things that you need to decide. If you cannot have dairy because you know that it makes you feel super bloated and have stomach issues and gut issues, then maybe that's a non-negotiable for you. Having clear boundaries help you feel in control without feeling deprived, okay? Trust me, it's all about the mindset. And I said it with the lion diet when I was on that 30-day lion diet challenge, where it is not for the weak-minded. Carnivore, animal-based, all of these quote unquote diets are not for the weak-minded. They're not also very long-term for many people, and that's something that you yourself have to decide. For me, being 90 to 95% carnivore, whatever it is, my no diet, Kristin diet, is a non-negotiable for me now. Like, this is the way that I'm going to probably eat for the rest of my life. I will every once in a blue moon. My husband and I have been talking about it. My birthday's coming up. Maybe have a date night where I want to have sushi. It's been a really long time. It's almost been a year. Or I want to have one of my favorite pastas. Like, I love pasta. I do not have Italian ancestry, but I swear to you, if you believe in past lives, my past life, I was Italian. That's how much I love pasta. And yet I've been okay with it without having it for almost a year now. Like, I actually feel a little emotional talking about this because it's amazing. It's something that I thought I couldn't do, but I can. And so maybe the treat is a bowl of pasta. We'll see how I feel. I'm not going to jump back into having pasta every weekend like I used to, but a treat every once in a blue, if you can jump back on that wagon, I think that you'll be okay. We have one life to live, and I definitely want to enjoy the small moments and times that I just want to enjoy something that I love to eat. So okay, I am back, and my microphone keeps going out. So let's make this quick. Oh my gosh, it's blinking. I don't know if it's going to go out again. I need to charge my microphones. Okay, let's wrap this up. So my point was that I am going to enjoy what I can enjoy. Remember, everybody is different. There's no one size fits all. And so I would just like to say to you that I hope that you enjoyed your holidays. I hope that you are back on that wagon. If you did decide to have a little treat, don't beat yourself up. You are only human. It's okay to enjoy. Bless you. And I will see you again on the next podcast. Have a great day.